Club's going up on a Tuesday. I mean Thursday. Why did I think it was Tuesday? It's a Thursday. Maybe it's because that's how the song goes. How's everybody doing? It's a good day. I've got two refreshments. I've got myself a blueberry ale, and I've also got a sugar-free energy drink. And tonight's going to be a fun one. So I'm looking forward to it. Today's been an absolute insane day. My daughter also got, hand, foot, and mouth disease today. Obviously not great news, but started off eventful and continued to be eventful. So I guess that's, I guess that's just how the days work some days. But I would say today had to have been the busiest day maybe ever of my life. I would say maybe ever, yeah. And in the Power Private community, no doubt about it. Like, it's been an absolute gong show in there. The amount of notifications I've had from Power Private members, people just, just overly, overjoyed, with emotions. And it's a great day. We have to just stop and embrace it for what it is, right? This is why we work so hard, folks. Like, I've been at this for almost 2 decades. And really been following XRP for about a decade now. And, it started off with me using it, understanding the use case. One thing I hate about the MJ industry, cannabis industry, I guess I can say it now, YouTube doesn't care, is that nobody knows anything. Everybody knows the price of everything, but the value of nothing. Nobody knows anything about like what these companies, what their products are like, what their brands are. People just throw their hard-earned money with no care, When I looked at crypto, when I looked at XRP, I was like, why the hell would I send Bitcoin or Ethereum? It was a use case that sold me on XRP. It's like the other day, testing like a new exchange. I might be partnering with a new crypto exchange. I'll tell everybody that right now. I was just testing, moving some money around. 5 figures. You know how much the fee was sending XRP? $0.00. It was a fraction of a penny. And it was there before I could even refresh the screen. It was there. So why in the fuck, explain to me, pardon my French, but like, come on, people. Like, it's not that difficult to understand. And like, you still got people who don't understand it, like Bitcoin maxis or whatever. It's a piece of crap, It's like the dial-up internet. It's like somebody who's sold on dial-up internet saying, just because it was the first, it's my favorite and it's the best, even though it's the most, least advanced technology. It's my favorite. But nobody owned dial-up internet, right? Nobody cared. And it's just so funny. Like, that's how I started with XRP. But I understand most people buy XRP because they don't know what it is, right? They don't even know how to buy it. So they're like, how can I value it? Right? You have to understand how to value something. Anyway, this is a bit of a weird start to a video, but we're just going to come on here. We're going to have some fun, and I'm going to be real like I always am. I'm not here. I seen a video today. It was the best thing ever. It was like a Cardano video, obviously hype. The guy is on the thumbnail. He's got his hand over his mouth like... And then you look at the chart that he has, and there's literally like 1,000 lines everywhere, and I'm like... Well, you know what? He has to be right eventually. If the price goes to whatever price, you know what? I got 1,000 lines. I had to have been right eventually. It's so funny. But yeah, most of these people, they're fly by night. They're on YouTube. They're on here for clicks, whatever. I got 20 people on this stream. I'm not changing the world or anything, but you 20 people, if you stick with me, I guarantee you'll never have to work another day in your life. So you want clickbait, froth, and fluff, and all that bullshit? Or do you want to actually put in the work, blood, sweat, and tears, learn, hopefully not make as many mistakes as me, and actually be rewarded, right? The thing that most people don't understand is if you don't put in the work, if you don't actually do things, right? Why do you think people who win the lottery go broke? Or why do you think they feel remorse or some sort of like, why me? Why was I so lucky? It's because they didn't earn it. If you earn it, if you put in the blood, sweat, and tears, you will just feel so amazing, right? You'll be like on top of the world. So, I wouldn't change anything. It's been a long time coming. People in the Power Group Private community know me well. I've been talking about XRP long before I didn't even make public YouTube. Like, even though I invest the most in XRP, it's my largest crypto portfolio holding. It's my largest holding of any asset other than real estate, which actually it's getting pretty up there with my real estate. But, you know, I don't talk about it because I don't need to, right? I just know, right? And I knew that back in the day, nobody was really listening to my XRP videos. And I'm just going to kind of vent a little bit here, but no structure to this video either. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, you know, in the early days, I was passionate about cannabis. That's why I started my channel. But what I didn't tell people was I own a lot more XRP than cannabis. Why? Why do I do that? Because I'm a technologist, I'm a realist, and I understand that crypto, regardless if you can touch it, it's tangible and intangible, like, it doesn't matter. You have to just do a little bit of research, folks. And anything that happens in finance, it's been planned for decades. There's no way it just fell into place. You think the Genius Act and all this stuff happening, Crypto Week, you think that was just something that was planned last week or a month ago or after this new administration? No. It's been planned for decades, folks. Like, probably since the 90s, right? And maybe even since they took us off the gold standard. So what I'm trying to get at here is, you know, I'm not here to sell shit. I'm not here to get views. I want you to be successful. And I see so many people in the Power Group private community today being like, oh my God. You know, and people are saying, I'm looking at selling. And I'm like, we just got to all-time highs, folks. Like, this is what we came for. And you want to sell now? No, don't do that. This is your emotional self speaking. So anyways, all the normal mumbo jumbo. Rod with Pal Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth. The channel not for clickbait and hype. The ones that, you know, the channel that's not trying to get you to click on things just because we want to, you know, get views and channel monetization, whatever. Like, I've made content on cannabis for the last 5 years, and most of my videos didn't even get monetized. Why do you think there's nobody making cannabis videos? Because it's not monetized. Again, I'm not here to get views, subscribers. I do not care about any of that because I don't need to care, right? I own more XRP than you could ever imagine. And on a day like today, I never have to post another video ever in my life again. But there's tons of people who are on here as day traders, right? They day trade for a living. They're on here making a YouTube living, right? If they didn't day trade or do YouTube, they wouldn't make any money, right? I could just not do YouTube or trading ever again, and I would never have to work another day in my life because I set myself up. I'm 35. You can do it too. There's probably some of you that are like 20. Like, it's unfathomable how much money you can make with crypto. Don't worry, cannabis will get there soon. The crypto bills are almost done. We just had the Genius Act get passed through the House. So now it's going on to the president's desk. It could pass at any moment. It could be signed at any moment. So, yeah, how's everybody doing? Rod, you're the GOAT. Let's go. Yeah, I don't feel like the GOAT. You know, I'm just a dude who works fucking hard. I'm gonna be completely real with you. When I do something, I will not give up. And I lost to Quadriga. Remember my interview with 3IQ, which is sad because that. Like Jake Claver, who says XRP's going to $1,000, right? Clickbait is a motherfucker. And, you know, he gets like thousands of views because he puts a video saying XRP's going to $1,000. Am I going to do that to you? No, because that's bullshit. It's not going to $1,000 anytime soon. You can see us, we're at $3.52, and this is an absolute rocket ship. Yeah, but I just posted the other day, and I get people like saying they're surprised. They're surprised. They're like, I can't believe XRP's where it is. And I literally just made a video the other day saying bull flag confirmed, target is 376. What did we hit today? When did I post that? 1 day ago. Okay, what were we at yesterday? 310 was the high. What's the high today? 354. We're not there yet. We're close. But I didn't just pull this number out of my ass, right? It's because I put in thousands of hours, right? I put in thousands and thousands of hours of charts. You don't have to do that to be successful. Right? I'm just saying. That's because I had no one teaching me. But I'm teaching people, right? And I've created a platform that you can learn. And if you don't want to learn, okay, well then prepare to put in 1,000 hours like of your own time and mistakes. And like Quadriga, like I said, the XRPQ 3IQ guy was on my channel, and I'll start off by saying this is not financial advice, this is for entertainment purposes only. But you know, I interviewed the CEO, and my video gets 200, 300 views, and I'm interviewing the CEO of the same company that Jay Claver interviewed. This guy gets 20,000 views. Why? Because his subscriber base is massive. But he's also getting these subscribers through telling people it's going to $1,000. And you know what so many people are going to do? They're going to get wrecked. They're going to not sell this cycle when we go to $10 or $20. Like, that guy should honestly be smacked, to be honest with you. And Jay Claver, if you're listening, you should be ashamed, honestly. You can't tell people that. Like, you're doing people a disservice. You're clickbaity as hell. Like, does he really care about people, or does he care about himself? Sounds like he cares about himself. And I don't normally do this, but like, I have to drive this point home, folks. XRP is not going to $1,000 anytime soon, okay? Will it go there eventually? Yes, I do believe so. Look at my XRP exit plan video. XRP exit. Just type that into my channel. Be the first one that comes up. I have a plan for $1,000 XRP, right? I have a plan for 100. I have a plan for 90. I have a plan for 50. I have a plan for $25. I have a plan for $10. I have a plan for $5. But don't be one of those people who doesn't sell, and then XRP goes to, you know, 20 or 30 bucks, and you're like, oh, it's going to the moon, it's going to 100, it's going to 1,000. I'm just not going to sell. And then it drops all the way back down to 3 or 4 bucks again, right? What happens normally? 1 month. Look here. We broke out, brand new all-time high, came back. We even went to a lower low. And let's go back here to, hang on a second here. What is going on? Crypto. There we go. So what normally happens? You come out, you break out, you come back. This is our new breakout zone and our new floor. Imagine this is you, okay? There was tons of people, right, when we were breaking above 10 cents saying we're going to $10, right? We're going to $10. No, wrong. We went to $3. And you have to remember, we just came off of 0.3 of a cent, right? So it's again, it doesn't take a genius to figure this stuff out, folks. You don't need some guru on YouTube. You don't need me. Just look at it. The price went from 0.3 of a cent to $3.31 in a very short period of time. It went there in a year. Okay, so from the low to the high, you're looking at 111,000%. Okay, so how much higher do you think it's really going to go? And then put it in the RSI into your chart. We're at 95 on the monthly RSI. We're probably going to get there again. We were just at 85. And we're starting to come up to the highs here. I say we'd probably be pushing 90, 95 again. But here's the thing, folks. All these people back here said, we're at $3, I'm holding till 10. And then guess what happened? Price pulled back 96%. So if you had $100,000, you'd now have a few $1,000s? Is that what you want to do again? Listening to the Jay Clavers of the world saying we're going to 1,000? Do I think that we're going to 1,000? Yes. But it's probably going to be like a 2035 thing, maybe 2030 at the earliest, right? $100 is even stretching it. I would say somewhere around 20 bucks, 25 bucks on the high end this cycle. So just don't be like that. And I see people today, like I said, the PAL Group private community has been absolutely on fire today. I can't even keep up with it. And my phone's absolutely going crazy. Tons of people are signing up as we speak. I'll get to your accounts later, everyone. I just have to focus right now. But a lot of people are wondering, like, is now a good time to sell? Are we going to see a sell the news event with these bills? No. If we were breaking to higher highs before the bills came out, if we're busting after the bills came out, it's probably a buy the news, right? Generally, you would expect the opposite. If the news just came out and this was the chart, this would be a sell the news. But when the news just came out about the Genius Act, that's a buy the news, folks. And actually, remember when I drew the monthly bull flag? Let's just get up a different chart up here. Easier to see. Wow, I really just hit every single chart possible, didn't I? Binance? Jeez. Even got that one. So yeah, I do a lot of charting. That's why we created this algo alert too, so I don't have to do as much charting, and it just tells me what to do. All right, so here we go. Let's reset this, and I think I have to remove some of these alerts. Get that out of here. There we go. What? Oh, it's that stupid wick on Poloniex. Okay. Oh my God. Let's just do XRP index. There, finally. Okay. So I drew this a while ago. Not the most accurate bull flag, but we did start. Yeah, it's probably not the most. Let's get the 2-week time frame up here. Probably more accurate on the 2-week. Yeah, I use it from there to there. So yeah, it's kind of a 2-week bull flag with a little bit of a fake out. And this is what I've been saying on the channel for a while now too, is when everybody expects something, right? I make videos all the time talking about this. When everybody expects the 0.32 fib, which is just 38% of this move, if you go from here to here, a 38% pullback would bring you to 224. It doesn't have to be super complicated. Everybody hears fib and they're like, oh my God, and it's a new language. No, it just means if you go from here to here to here, that means you gave back 100% of that move because you're back to 1. If you go from here to here, back to the 5, you gave back half of that move. If you go from here to here, you gave back 78%, okay? Very simple. So the thought process is if you only pulled back about 38%, you're probably going to see another leg higher. And that's what's looking to shape up here. And again, we've been seeing these fake outs lately with a dip below the 0.5, and it's XRP, folks. The US government sued it to slow it down. So don't you think they're going to play a little bit more manipulation with it? Probably so. So where does this say we're going on this monthly bull flag? That was, in my opinion, a huge manipulation. It says $21. Did I just pull that number out of my hat, out of my ass, saying I think $21 is the card? No. I also made a video saying XRP $14 to $16. Look at this video. Just put in XRP 14. 4 major reasons why. And again, it's not because I think so, because I want it to, because I believe it will. I give 4 major reasons, technical and chart-based reasons why I think it's going there. And here we are, all-time highs. So it's a great day. It's not going to stop, folks. Like I said today in the Power Group private community, let me just bring it up here. What did I say? who's looking at their net worth today and doing this? Who else can relate to that? Who's looking at their net worth today and oh damn, feels unreal. Go to $10, please. It's going there. So yeah, what I posted over here was, trust me everyone, we're approaching the type of the market and time where the price of everything is going to go way higher than you ever thought possible. Whatever you think the top is, you can probably times it by 3 or 4, and that will be more of a realistic target and price. It will get so unbelievably overvalued that you'll be feeling uncomfortable to start to question if it's even legal, and that will likely be the top is in. So I said, anyone feeling uncomfortable yet? If so, the top is not in. And then I said, as soon as you feel that this is illegal and not real, then the top will be in. And I'm going to just mark this on red. You can see, like, I didn't look at the community in like 2 minutes, and it's just absolutely blowing up. Let's just see what kind of news we have here. I got that. U.S. House votes on Critical Genius Act. And yeah, I've been saying for a while now, XRP all-time highs any day. You know, I'm not here with 1,000 lines in my chart either saying, you know, well, I had 1,000 lines. Eventually I was going to be right. You know, no, I came here yesterday and I said, bull flag target confirmed. Target is 376. There was 1 line on my chart, right? I keep it simple. And then the good news is we could still see a golden cross here over the next, well, any day now, really, probably over the next 2 or 3 days, I would say. And again, 3 lines on the chart. But yeah, bullish triple thunder crossover. That was a huge buy signal. I told people, I said, the first time it happened here, we went from 60 cents to 340. What do you think is going to happen the next time when we get the case ending legislation in the U.S.? Tons of super chats here. Rod speaking facts. Thanks, Rod, for the honest info. My pleasure, Sensei and Mr. Mankey. Thanks for joining. Core members in the house. Yeah, so again, do I have a crystal ball? No. Do I just pull these numbers out of my ass? No. It was clear, right? I put this in my video yesterday. And then not only that, okay, so let's, for example, we're looking at the bull flag. We're looking at the daily bull flag. We see 376. Do we just end there? No. Okay, well, what's happened on the 4-hour time frame? We had multiple 4-hour bull flags. We had another one here. This one said 260. Then on the 2-hour time frame, let's see what just happened. We just had a 2-hour bull flag from here to here, held the 0.382 fib perfectly. You just take your measured move from there to there. I had tons of people saying, is this the sell the news right here? And I'm like, it held the 0.382 fib perfectly. And then sure enough, measured move said 353. So we had a 2-hour bull flag, a 4-hour bull flag, and a daily bull flag. And now we're looking at a monthly, or I guess a 2-week bull flag would be more accurate. So we're there. We had a bullish triple thunder crossover. So again, when 8 out of 10 indicators, pattern signals that we like to look at, and this is what I did with my algo, and again, you can just go to, I'll just bring it up here real quick actually. So here's the algo alerts that go off. These are what sends it via email. So this was the first ever cosmic overbought condition on the POW algo alerts. It just fired off on XRP. The 1 day and the weekly time frames are overbought simultaneously. You'll get an alert. But the thing is, if this was NVDA, I'd be selling it and running for the hills and never looking at it again for about 2 years. But an XRP that's been artificially suppressed and sued by the US government, it's been held back by the Bitcoin maxis, right? All they can do is talk about XRP and how much it sucks. But you know what I say? If it's so good and Bitcoin's so good, why do you have to talk about how shitty it is all the time? That tells me there's probably something to this XRP thing. But yeah, this cosmic overbought, the first asset in the POW algo alert that ever did that. And none other than our favorite XRP. FLR, look at this thing. Bullish triple thunder crossover today. Close above the 10-week moving average. We had a MACD and a stochastic bull cross all occurring simultaneously. And look what happened on Flare. We're up 16%. This thing in the last day. Oh, well, we got to go back to the weekly time frame now. Just in the last week, it's up 44%. So, and could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. So again, like it's so unbelievably easy now when just looking at these charts and going through all of this. Like we're going to the fucking moon, folks. We're going to the moon. Like this is nothing. If you think it, like I said in the group earlier, if you think this is like, you came here and invested in XRP just to get to all-time highs, we're just hitting all-time highs. What do you think happens after all-time highs? Price discovery. We're there, folks. We're there. We're absolutely there. Look at this. We've never been here before. So what do you think happens? We're right here, right? Look at this all-time high in 2017. This is where we would be, roughly 10% higher. Okay, let's look at the all-time high to see where we are versus now. Roughly 10% higher. Is that where it ended? No. It went another 43x from there. And that's before it was manipulated and sued by the US government, right? The reason why it was sued is because they knew it was going to pass XRP, or sorry, it was going to pass Bitcoin. XRP was going to pass Bitcoin. It was going to pass Ethereum. It did. It passed Ethereum in 2018 without any, and then they removed the Korean exchanges. Oh my God, like this is probably the most manipulated asset on the planet and probably the biggest opportunity of our lifetime, of our species. Okay? XRP will be the most valuable currency. It will pass Bitcoin without a shadow of a doubt. I have no, like, I bet my daughter's, like, I won't even say it because it's my daughter, I love her, but I'll bet on my own life. I bet my own life that XRP will be more valuable than Bitcoin. I bet you Ripple will be the most valuable company. And it may even create the world's first trillionaire. That's what we're dealing with, folks. We're talking about a new financial system, and XRP and Ripple are going to be the foundation. They're going to be the bedrock of the whole thing, right? They're going to be the the base layer, if you will, the TCP/IP, if you will, which is just a super nerdy way of saying the plumbing of the internet. All right, let's have and go. Jam Losi, Ben in the house. We got Mr. Mankey. Wow, actually killing it. Glad I snagged up XRP at 234. Yeah, I mean, I think the lowest I bought XRP was 20 cents, and it feels pretty damn good today. And I went heavy, let me tell you. We'll get into the member questions here. I'm having a pretty good time watching MJ stocks. Oh, I can say it now. Marijuana stocks. See, marijuana, cannabis. Thank you. Screw you, YouTube algorithm. It doesn't care anymore, by the way, if anybody's unsure, because this is a crypto video. Usually my videos would get flagged. But yeah, it goes to show you that this is probably going to be, folks, crypto legislation going through, what I've been saying. Right after, cannabis is going to be the focus. So make sure you start to rotate some of those profits into cannabis, but not financial advice. Feeling fresh, absolutely. She said VF holding. Let's go through here. Sensei says smash the like button, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, my man. Flare is one of my top picks. Yeah, it's... Rod, we need you on Martin Show soon. Do you fancy it? Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. Just let me know. Yeah, I actually messaged Martin Lucas, investor, like, I think it was like 3 days ago. I said all-time highs on XRP this week. And here we are, like 3 days later. All-time high breakout. And yeah, it's not going to stop. And again, like I said in my group today, in POW group, if XRP is going to go to $100 someday, which it will, there's no doubt in my mind, right? Why would you feel uncomfortable or like so much adrenaline now? Right? Like, imagine buying Amazon. Like, XRP compared to Amazon? Amazon ain't got nothing on XRP. Amazon was dealing with books and goods and services and like, XRP is going to change the financial system as we know it. Every country, every business, everyone on the planet is going to be using this new financial system, okay? And we're talking about XRP and Ripple, the asset and the company that are going to be basically making it all happen. Like, they're going to be the foundation, okay? So Amazon, well, it's a great investment. It also fell 95%. But guess what? The biggest regret of people here, right? And then people here, and then people here. What do you think the biggest regret was? Why did I sell? Why did I sell too early? I should have held more, right? So what do you think XRP is going to look like? It's going to be like the same damn thing, right? You're going to see these waves. You're going to see, eventually this will be the Amazon, that 95% correction. And then you'll see another wave, and then that'll be your new low, right? And then you'll start another count. That'll be your 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 there, right? And then we'll be at $300, and then the people who sold at 3 will be like, oh, why didn't I hold to 300, right? And then we'll be at 3,000. But here's the this is actually the chart. This worked out perfectly. This was the chart I wanted to find that has the Bitcoin fractals. So again, in this video, the four reasons, XRP 4 major reasons. This right here. So this is the Bitcoin fractal all-time price history index over XRP. Look at how similar. Why would we not compare Bitcoin, even though XRP is superior in every way? Why would we not compare the adoption of Bitcoin to the adoption of XRP? And if XRP is even more superior, we can expect the highs to maybe just to be a little bit higher, right? Because it's superior in every way. So if we look at this, and that's true, look at this. This one here, we started to get above it. I bet you any money this time we're going to get above it as well on this peak. And that's going to bring us somewhere around $27, right? So again, look at this. It mimics it perfectly. Boom, bust. Boom, somewhat of a symmetrical triangle, and bust, and then boom again. And we overshot that. Then we bust again. We continue to, but again, we got manipulated. We had another symmetrical triangle. Boom, breakout. And then what do you think is going to happen? We're probably going to raise to about $50 sometime between now and 30, right? 2030. So I think we could hit $100 again if that's Bitcoin, and it has a mass marketing machine, right? Every single platform you go on is pumping the shit out of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like, I know exchange called ShakePay here in Canada. That's all they offer is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like, you can't buy anything else. So if that's what they're dealing with, or if that's what Bitcoin's dealing with, what do you think is going to happen with XRP once they finally unleash the shackles? I'd say 150 is possible by 2030. Jake Klaver, though, he'll tell you it's going to $1,000 this year because he's a fucking idiot. Like, stop looking for clicks, dude. Like, it's so stupid. Like, it's enough's enough. Like, people aren't here for clickbait anymore. And, like, you're just pissing people off and doing them a disservice. Like, it needs to stop. It's so ridiculous and annoying. And the fact that people just... yeah. Anyway. I hate that. I can't stand that. You don't need to be hypey. Right? Build a loyal following and be true to them. Like, okay, if you think it's going to $1,000, okay. But don't, like, there's people in my group saying it's going there this year. Jake Klaver said. I'm like, Jake Klaver doesn't know his gooch from his ass crack. Okay? Like, the guy's a fucking idiot. Like, excuse my French, but, like, come on, guys and girls. Like, we have to use our brain here a little bit. It's probably not going to $1,000. It's having a hard time getting above all-time high here. Probably going to top out at like 20 or 30. Like, $1,000 is a long ways away. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it goes to $1,000. I have a plan for that, though, right? I'm not expecting that as my base case. It's people that do that get wrecked, right? Because you're going to see the price go to $100 or $50. And then, you know, maybe that takes 3 years to happen, and then you're still not going to sell, and then you see a 90% correction, right? Like, just take some profit along the way. And I can't get it. Just boils my blood when I see this stuff and people are talking to me about it. It's like $1,000. Like, come on. Like, I don't even listen to them because it's annoying. We got Brian in the house. Yeah, sorry I'm a little spicy today, guys and girls. It's just I spend a lot of my time like correcting that, right? Because it's like people are like, "Well, Jake Klaver said it's going to $1,000." I'm like, "Yeah, Jake Klaver's head's so far up his own ass, right? That's why." And he doesn't care about you. He cares about himself. He cares about views and clicks and YouTube monetization, right? He's not here to actually help you win. He's here to help himself win. So I can't stand that. And I'll call anybody out anytime. What is your time zone? I'm in Mountain, so it's currently 5:33 p.m. Alberta. We'd love to do an XRP stream with you. Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Can't stand people saying $1,000 XRP this year. There's so much bullish stuff to talk about without that. Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. And Byram says, hello, Sensei Crypto. Great coverage today. Yeah, so again, like, do I think XRP is going to $1,000? Yes, it is. It's going to go there eventually, right? It's probably going to go higher than that. But to be like, he's saying it this year. Like, come on, man. Go fucking, like, stop making YouTube content. Like, you're an idiot. Like, it's just so dumb. Like, come on, man. Like, and then because he's an idiot, I have to correct the idiocracy and explain to my members saying, hey, and the people that follow me that, like, no, this guy's an absolute moron, right? Like, if he just said it was going to $1,000, I was like, oh, he just likes clickbait and wants and views and money and whatever, right? And there's no shortage of people who want that. But the fact that he's saying this year, come on. Anyway, let's get off of that because it's making me angry. And the reason why I'm angry is not because he get more views than me. I'm angry because there's people in my group who are like, I'm not selling till 1,000 now, right? And I'm like, no, don't sell because somebody else told you it's going to a certain price. Like, do what's right for you. Develop your own plan. Don't listen to me either, right? Because I don't know your situation. Like, if it's going to be life-changing wealth, but maybe you're like, yeah, maybe I'm okay holding to $1,000. That's cool too, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But I can't stand whenever someone says it's going to it's like saying, you know, Amazon back in 2001 that it was going to 3,000 a share, right? In like a couple years, right? It took like decades, right? Now again, that was Amazon in the early days of the internet. Now we have the internet. It's going to be way easier for information to travel, so it's probably not going to be decades. It's probably going to be maybe 5 years instead of 15, right? But it's still going to be a while. You're changing my world, Rod. Yeah, it's, man, like, just looking at my crypto portfolio, which is like 80% XRP, it's like the amount of money that's going up in like a few minutes is like what people make in a year, you know? And it's like, wow. Like some people make that in a year, and it's like, wow, like, so glad I just, you know, looked into this and didn't listen to the Bitcoin maxis. And most people miss Bitcoin, right? Most people didn't hear about Bitcoin until 10,000, and they were only able to buy maybe like a 0.1 Bitcoin or whatever, right? And then it's just, yeah, like the more people hate a certain asset, the more I love it. And the more people love a certain asset, the more I hate it. And that's just so true. Wow, actually killing it. I follow your stuff here. I think I missed this one. Follow your stuff here, says Ike. There for Kenna. I just want to drop in and say congrats on your XRP thing. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Like, I understand, like, you know, if I was doing a Tilray video, this would probably have like 100 people on it. Like, if just imagine if Tilray was at all-time highs, which it will be. Don't worry. It's going to get there. Eventually, right? I mean, it's going to be a hard feat because it's $300 and that was a crazy IPO. But, like, it's probably going to get there, right? If it merges with another company, it'll still get to an all-time high. So it's like the Hexo, right? Hexo merged with Tilray. Tilray goes to all-time high. Technically, Hexo's at an all-time high because it merged. Did it go to zero? No. Did you lose all your money? No. If you held, would you be at all-time high? Yes. So it's at all-time high, right? I've never promoted a project or a company that's ever gone to zero, ever. And I don't think I ever will, because I do thousands of hours of research before I invest a single dime, right? That's just the way it is. I even told people when I invested in MedMen, I was like, I fully expect this to go to zero. I was like, the only reason why I'm buying it is because Tilray is investing a little bit into it, but I'm not confident at all. And I also didn't do any research. So the most I'm putting into this is like $500 to $1,000, and then sure enough, it went bankrupt. But I even said it's probably going to go bankrupt. So I was right about that. But I put in 500, but the most I could lose was 500 to 1,000, right? So again, have to be real, and if you're not going to put in the work, you're not going to do the research, then it doesn't warrant enough. It doesn't warrant your life savings, right? Hello, Rod. Glad I snagged up. Got that one. Thank you. You bet. This too shall pass. Been a while. Thanks for joining. XRP is the new Bitcoin, and XDC is the new ETH. Yeah, I own a little bit of XDC, but I'm still not, like, XRP is going to eat everything. It's going to eat absolutely everything. It's yeah. XRP was created second before Ethereum, and Satoshi stopped, like, Satoshi went away in 2011. Guess what created that same year, and just shortly after that, XRP was created. Interesting. What was XRP originally designed for? To be a better Bitcoin. Satoshi himself, or herself, we don't know yet, or themselves, right? It's probably them. They went away, and then all of a sudden XRP's birthed. And then right after that, Ripple, the company's birthed. There's no difference between Ripple and the Ethereum Foundation. There's a foundation of XLM. There's a foundation, like, listen to my interview with the 3IQ CEO, Pascal Saint-Jean. He says, we work a lot with the foundations. Like, why does Ripple get us so much hate? It doesn't make any sense. I'm having a pretty good time watching MJ stock start to kick up. I'm feeling pretty all right. Yeah, I got a lot of work to do, though. I bought XRP because of you at 50 cents, 52 cents, says Jam. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, like I said, I made a video right after XRP. Let's just go back. If you go to videos, and then this is going to be a blast from the past, go to the oldest. I remember I'm pretty sure this was my first XRP video, but I was making it long before then, or I was invested in it long before then and using it. It was December, and I think it would have been after this because this was November, the elections in 2020. Yeah, it would have been after that. It would have been, it's coming up soon. Dems take control of the Senate, so that would have been January. So that's too late. it would have been in December. Where the hell was it? Huh. Can't find it. But anyway, in the video, I showed it. It was at 20 cents. It's got to be right around here. Has to be. So that was in, yeah, Dems took control of the Senate in 2020, on November 19th, 2020, so it's shortly after that. November 25th, November 30th, December 4th, December 10th, it's got to be right around here. Am I blind? Anybody see an XRP video? What the hell is it? Coinbase. Here we go. Right there. Man, I'm blind. Yep, right here. So this is the video I made. Definitely. And it doesn't even have monetization on because I wasn't even making money back then. But yeah, this was December 29th of 2020. I started my channel in 2018 in like POW group, but I wasn't comfortable going on YouTube yet. But that was in December of 2020, like 2 years after I was investing in XRP. And in that video it was 21 cents. And here we are today at 351. So 21 cents to now, we're up 1,500%. But guess what also just did 1,500%? Oxley. I've been talking about Oxley at 1 penny. And look, it's up 1,500%. So, again, and I didn't just buy it because it was attractive at a penny. I bought it because I did thousands of hours of research into this cannabis sector, right? And I knew, like, Oxley may end up being the most undervalued company ever. Like, in terms of their stock price, where it got, like 1 penny. Like, this thing's probably going back to like $4 or $5, folks. Like, it went from 1 penny and it's going to $4 or $5. Like, I can't wait to see my $1 or my 1 cent and 2 cent buys at $3 or $4. That's gonna be awesome. All right, let's get through a little quicker here. But love to see that you're able to buy at 52 cents, Jim. Got that one already. You are a rare gem, Rod. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, I don't even know what to say. Today's just a good day. Just, you know, I want people, like I saw, you know, so many people saying like, should I take profit now on XRP? Folks, it's going a lot higher. Again, if we just take our fib tool, and this matches up perfectly with our Bitcoin fractal as well, right at the 4.618. And again, it's XRP, so it's probably going to overshoot that. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see us at 25 to 30 bucks this cycle. And then it's probably going to drop down to around $4 or $5 again. So ask yourself, if you're in the Jake Claver crowd saying it's going to 1,000 and this thing goes to 20 or 30 bucks, are you going to be able to stomach a pullback to $4 or $5? If so, then don't listen to me. I'm an idiot and carry on your merry little way. But if it goes from 20 or 30 bucks and goes back down to 5 or 4 and you hate your life, well, you're probably going to hate Jake Claver too, aren't you? So just have a plan for everything. That's the best way to go about it. But don't sell too much too quickly. And again, we can use these Bitcoin. Like I had a bunch of questions today in the Power Group private community. I never know when, like, how to value an asset. I never know when's a good time to sell. Well, that's because new all-time highs are like damn near impossible, right? Especially when you're starting out. How do you know where it's going to top out when the price has never been there before? Well, you can use the Bitcoin fractals like I'm using here, and then you can see, wow, every single boom and bust is pretty much identical. So I'm going to believe it until it doesn't follow it. And as of right now, it hasn't not followed it. So we're going to say somewhere around 20 bucks is probably realistic. And then another tool, just go over here, grab your fib retracement, click here on TradingView, and then go to your swing high to swing low, because that's the high of the bull market to the low of the bear market. The 4.618, which Bitcoin did, right? We can just bring up Bitcoin. So again, we have the fractals for Bitcoin. Here's the Bitcoin fractal here, right here, and then here's the extension levels. So it hit its 3.618 and it's 4.618. So why can't XRP do it? That would bring us to around 15 bucks. And again, if Bitcoin's the mass marketing machine, what do you think is going to happen to XRP? It's probably going to overextend that, right? It's probably going to go to maybe 20 or 25 bucks. Also, another one was in that video. I talked about the first ever monthly EMA 12, or the second ever monthly EMA 12 and 20. No, hang on a second here. I'd have to watch that video again, actually. It's been a while. I think it was the second one. I think we went up 1,300% after the second one. Let me just bring up Bitcoin. Yeah, I think it's coming back to me now. I even surprised myself in that one. At the first Bitcoin, is that the all-time history? Yeah. I think it might have been this one here. Yeah, it went up about 13,000%. I'd have to watch the video again, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And XRP. What's going on here? Trading views acting weird. So yeah, if we did, yeah, I can't remember what it was, to be honest with you. I have to watch the video again. But I gave 4 major reasons why. I think it might have been the weekly. And then there was the fib, the fractals. There was one more too. Let's just bring it up real quick. Let's see here. XRP 14. I'm curious now. Pretty sure it was the monthly. So yeah, the fractal, the fib. And then I could have swore it was the monthly time frame. Yeah, there it is there. So Bitcoin went up 13,000%. Oh, yeah. It was after the second major rally. That's what it was. So this was the first major. Let me go back here. So if we go to the XRP index. So this was the first major rally, and then it was the second major rally. So if you go from the low to the high, 13,000% is $14, which also lines up with the fib tool, which also lines up with the Bitcoin fractal. And I think, yeah, there was one more. I think it was the weekly moving average bull cross. But yeah, check out that video. But yeah, like again, here we are again. We're going again. Just hit a new high, 355. Hey Rod, what a day! Yeah, I think I missed that the first time around. Super smart. Thank you very much. Well, again, I don't feel like I'm the smartest. I just put in a shit ton of work. That's again, when I back something, when I do something, there's not too many people that'll outwork me, to be honest. Rod, speaking of absolute facts, I wish I bought XRP instead of Cardano. Well, that's it again, right? This will be a lesson. You have to look at where the price was versus where it is now, right? And you can't just go on Coinbase because this is an illusion. You have to go to Cardano on crypto.com, I think it is. Okay, so let this be a lesson. Look at where the all-time high price was, right? And then look at where the all-time low price was. So on Cardano, the thing went from just under 2 pennies, 1.8 pennies, 1.8 cents in March of 2020. And then in 18 months, so less than 2 years, it went to $3.09. That means it went up 170x in just under 2 years. So if you invested $1,000 here at just under two pennies, it'd be worth $170,000 for every $1,000. So if you miss that move and you're looking at it here, like even if you bought the absolute low here at 24 cents back in FTX crash 2022, it's still up 1,200%. That's like buying Oxy at a penny and then buying it at 14 pennies, like I just showed you, right? Like 14 cents instead of buying, like it's still up 1,200%. So you have to look at this and say, okay, even if it goes from here back to all-time highs, that's only 11x, right? XRP And again, we can't just go to Coinbase because it's not the whole story. You have to get the full picture. And that's not even the full picture either. That's 2017. Let's go, again, XRP. Just put in XRP index and then go to XRP liquid index. It's usually the best way. Looks like it's lagging though. Price is lagging here. In 2020, we'll go to 2022. If this thing goes to 20 bucks, you're looking at almost 100x, right? So why would you want to buy Cardano when it's already seen over 100x? Why wouldn't you look for the next 100x? And XRP is better than XRP, or XRP is better than Cardano in every like way possible. It was also created the second next to Bitcoin, right? And it was also created to be a better Bitcoin. Bitcoin developers made XRP because they saw the flaws of Bitcoin, but nobody else would know this unless you did research, right? And the Bitcoin maxis won't tell you that. Why? Because they have hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars into Bitcoin, and they're probably, like, Satoshi himself, even themselves, even talked about how Ripple and XRP were, you know, super valuable, right? That's me. Flare is one of my top picks. Yeah, it's looking promising. I would say, like, it still has 7 airdrops left though. So I just got mine yesterday. Each month you get airdrops. So if you hold it on a supported exchange, or if you do the Flare wallet with the connected, if you do a self custody connected to the Flare portal, you'll get the Flare. They're called Flare drops, so airdrops every month. They're doing the the token distribution monthly, and there's 7 left. So you have to think, if every single month they're distributing like 1% of your holdings into more tokens, that's adding to the supply, right? So supply and demand. It's saying that the price of the asset is being held back because there's more supply entering the market, right? So after 7 months from now, I think it's February, there's no longer going to be those Flare airdrops. So the supply will be out and there will be no more. And then that's when Flare is going to absolutely erupt. It might happen a couple months before that, right? Because everybody's going to be like, oh, it's going to happen in March, right after. But it'll probably happen a couple months before, because what do we know about when everyone thinks a certain thing? It's probably wrong. I just saw a headline that 3 billion Satoshi era BTC sold today. Didn't read it. Yeah, the U.S. government finally started taking profits. That's who it is. Bitcoin was created by the NSA. The SHA-256 hash, if you go to HTTPS, right, website, this is what it is. Connection is secure. You see this certificate? This is a SHA-256 certificate, public key. Guess what? This website has a private key. Guess what Bitcoin uses? Public key and private key. SHA-256 hash. Guess who owns that? Guess what it is? Military grade encryption. Guess who created that? And who owns the patent? The NSA. Guess who created Bitcoin? The NSA. Right? They won't say that. No, they want you to believe it's some libertarian movement, right? Someone asked me the other day, well, why wouldn't they just take credit for it? I'm like, because no one likes the government. You don't like their system now. What if they created a new system and their whole plan was to usher you in? Are you just going to be like, oh yeah, let me trust you. Everybody hates the government. 80-90% of citizens hate their government. But yeah, this new financial system, we're just gonna trust that. Of course not. So they make it sound like a libertarian movement. Some dude or girl in his basement made it, and everybody loves it. But just imagine, the government created this out of thin air, right? And now they're selling it to you and to people for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they paid zero for it. They're literally taxing you, and then when you sell your crypto, they tax you. So it's just the biggest Ponzi scheme of life. Well, the biggest Ponzi scheme is probably the U.S. dollar and fiat currency is backed by nothing. But this is the next level, right? Not only do they pay $0 for Bitcoin, they created it out of thin air. They're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars for every Bitcoin when they sell it, and when you sell, they take 40% of it as tax. It's the best scam ever, really. I wish I was that smart, and the government, so that they didn't take me away and never let me see the light of day again. You imagine trying to compete with the government's currency? Okay, no thanks. Oh, yeah, I'm getting lost in the... That's me. Let's go here. Hit the like button, guys. Appreciate it. Happy day. Thank you, Rod. My pleasure. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you becoming a member as well. I love your confidence, Rod. Really gets me going. Thank you. Yeah, I try not to get too... yeah. If you think I'm dramatic now, it's just like, man, like I get so fired up about some of this stuff because you're so funny. How many months alts will run for? Typically, Tashi, it's hard to say, right? Because we have legislation coming, right? So again, you have to look at it and you have to say, well, in the past, did the biggest economy in the world embrace Bitcoin and crypto? No. They were shutting it down, right? So now that it's like, imagine the internet, right? In the late 90s, so after they created legislation for the internet, after they had clear rules on the road, after the dot-com boom is when you've seen the real bull market begin and the real companies start to gain value. And that's because there was the Telecommunications Act, right? At the end of the 90s. So once there was clear rules and regulations, everybody knew what they could do and what they couldn't do. So now you have to say, okay, well, does it really matter what alt seasons really ran for in the past? Because now we have legislation and realistically, all bets are off, right? Now that there's clear rules of the road. So you can't say, like, typically alts, it's about a couple of weeks to a month, usually alt season. That's the standard norm. But in my opinion, it could last for months this time. But again, doesn't mean there won't be pullbacks along the way. We could easily go from XRP, we could easily go from here to $10 and then pull back to 6 and then go to 20, right? That could happen. And everybody will be like, oh, it's the end of the bull market at 10. It's going to 6. See, told you. Bull market's over. We're going back down to $3 or $2, maybe even lower. And then it'll go to, $6 or $5, and then it'll go to $20, and then it'll pull back to 4 or 5, right? So, again, does it really matter if you have your sell targets and you just execute your plan? If you're making decisions on the fly, then it does matter because you haven't developed a plan and you're unsure. You don't know. You're just winging it. But if you have a plan, say, this is how much I'm going to take at this price. This is how much I'm going to take at this price. I'm going to save some for this price, right? 3 digits, 4 digits, some for forever, right? I'm going to hold a certain amount, 1% for forever. Never going to sell it, right? You can delegate it. You can start to use it as collateral. So many different things. XRPQ been a winner so far. Thanks. Older gent. Yeah, that was a sweet interview with their CEO, Pascal Saint-Jean. And again, XRP is a daily bull flag. So what are you going to expect when you look at XRPQ? Daily bull flag. Sure enough. We go from our low to the high there. Daily bull flag. Then you take your measured move, low to the high. Move it out to your 0.382 fib. Target $24. Then you say, okay, well, is that the only thing we're going to look at? Well, why don't we look for Confluence? Why don't we look for more indicators, clues saying we're going higher? Then we had a ascending triangle on the hourly time frame, higher lows and higher highs, right? This is just a horizontal line of resistance. Eventually, 1, 2, 3 broke higher, and then you just take your measured move from there. And look where we topped out right today. You literally can't make this stuff up, folks. Like, you think I'm this good of a bullshitter? I wish. I should start making my own fiction novels, if so. But yeah, like, you literally can't make this stuff up. It's the only reason why I know this is because I know, like, what I'm talking about. I've done the research. I've been the best student, right? And here we are. We started daily consolidation right after, hourly consolidation right after hitting that target, right? We hit it, and now we closed at the low of that hourly candle. So yeah, we're probably going to pull back to like 20 or 19 into tomorrow, right? Come back down to that support, maybe even flush down here, scare everybody. XRP, actually, I shouldn't have sold that one. It's not good to hold future-based ETFs for a long period of time, but man, that one stung. I sold it when XRP Q came out, and it actually, look at how nasty this one was. It dropped to a new lower low. It just reminds me of the XRP chart in 2017 when it dropped to a lower low, and then it ran up almost 200% in a few weeks. And look at that volume, folks. XRP is going to make Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, they're all going to be the little baby back biatch. Like XRP's gonna school them all. Yeah, and this one's even a daily bull flag. So if XRP is a daily bull flag, what are we going to expect every single XRP ETF to be? A daily bull flag. And then sure enough, XXRP is one too. Isn't that just logical? Doesn't that just make sense? And then yeah, this one's probably going to go to 80 bucks. Brian donates $5. Thank you very much for the spicy content. Well, I'm glad you're liking it. 10 people left the stream. So again, people don't want to, when they're like, oh, he said it's not going to $1,000 anytime soon, I'm going to jump off now. It's like, okay, you weren't going to make it anyway. Don't worry. Go back to your Instagram scrolling. We'll continue grinding it out here at POW. And it's just as important to know how to keep your money as how to make it, right? So if you're not putting in the work, if you just want to come on here and have somebody tell you what you want to hear, not the place for it. 384 was the all-time high because AI told me. Yeah, so some exchanges was 384. So you can go to some exchanges. What was it? Was it Bitstamp? Yeah, most are 340. I think CoinMarketCap might show it. It's just certain exchanges, right? So there's so many exchanges. There's like dozens of them. So actually probably more than that. Probably like hundreds. So, but like the average is around 340 and we just broke into all-time high. But yeah, once we break $4, it's going to absolutely skyrocket. FOMO will really kick in at $5 because that's just a psychological number. And you'll be a lot higher than the previous all-time high at that point. Everybody will be freaking out. No one could buy or sell at those prices. I think 3-4. Yeah, exactly. It was just like an anomaly. It was like a single exchange or two. Sensei, but yeah, he is right. The all-time high was like close to 390. But yeah, if it's not on all exchanges, then I don't really consider it. And then another way to do it would be to go to XRP index, liquid index, and look at the all-time high there. And that one says 330. So it just shows the liquidity over time. So you like, even if it hit 380, the liquidity was nothing, right? It would have just been one exchange. So if you were a whale, you know, it would if you went to sell, that 380 would be down to like, you know, 340 probably in no time because there'd be no liquidity there, right? Not to go off topic, but can you take a look at CGC? Yeah, I'd be careful with CGC. It's a monthly bear flag at the moment. Yeah, that's not good. That's really not good. And it was also a weekly bear flag targeting 93, and the monthly bear or a head and shoulders targeting 77 cents. And then what I just noticed was the monthly bear flag. So let's see if we can do it on week because it's probably easier to draw it. Yeah. So just in terms of percentage, it's a monthly bear flag. I don't think this is the most likely scenario because we're so beaten down, but I wouldn't be surprised to see us at... wait, what? What are the odds that that was a monthly bear flag as well? That was listed funds Roundhill. Okay, well, it's a cannabis seed. That's why. Okay. That makes more sense. That's it had to be cannabis. Like there's no way in hell that just looked the same if it wasn't the same industry. But yeah, this one, yeah, so another monthly bear flag. I don't think this is the most likely scenario. I do think that that head and shoulders and daily bear flag will confirm though around 93 cents. But this one's saying 44 cents Canadian. So that's like, what, 30 cents US? Again, I don't see that the most likely scenario. I'd say the daily head and shoulders on CGC probably more realistic, and see that go back down to 77 cents. And then we also have hourly and daily bear flags targeting $1.02 and 93 cents. So, and it's just like a lot of other MJ were break, like Oxley's up 1,500%. Canara Biotech's at all-time highs. And CGC is getting absolutely destroyed. And we just had a bearish triple thunder crossover. So not good at all. XRP. Got a bull flat. XLM, folks. Market. It's going to be... Everybody should start looking at XLM. I made this. This is actually how I knew XRP was going to create a daily bull flag, is because I saw it on XLM first. Because we had this move from 22 cents up to 52. So this in just like a week was up 130%. Look, it's just about to confirm a daily bull flag. So if you buy XLM on a break of 52 cents, that's a daily bull flag confirmed. That's a trade opportunity of 80% from there. So this thing's going to absolutely skyrocket, and just like XRP, we're going to, and it's little brother, little sister to XRP, right? It's literally the copy, a code copy, and the same creator who created XRP, co-creator that created XRP, created XLM. If we hit the 3.618, that's 350. 4.618, just over $4. So $3 or $4 easily for XLM. If we see, you know, $10, $15 plus on XRP, this thing could easily be at 5 or 10, right? If XRP hits $20, this could easily be at 5 or 10. So XLM, I think, is the best percentage gain from here. That's like an easy 10x if we get to $5. But keep in mind, it was just at a couple cents, right? That's when you want to buy it, when it's at those, like Oxley, for example, like a penny. Like, oh man, send it. Like, think about it. If you buy it at a penny, and like if you bought XLM at 2 pennies, all you would need to do to make 100% gain is for this to go to 53 cents. Can you imagine how exciting it'd be knowing you bought this thing at 2 pennies in March of 2020, and some days it's going up $1, and every 2 pennies you make 100%? Like, that's what Oxley's at right now. Like, Oxley, I literally bought, I can't remember how many times I was buying this thing at a penny, 2 pennies. I was like, this is silly. Like, I can't believe I'm buying this at a penny. So now every time Oxley goes up a penny, I make 100%. And now imagine if it gets back to $1 and $2. That's insane. That's called generational wealth. Take this, Gensler. Yeah. He was there for a reason, though, right? Like, again, Gensler was in MIT talking about XRP, saying, oh, yeah, you're going to go from the Mexican peso to this. I don't know what the Tanzanian currency is, he was saying, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, you're probably going to need a bridge currency. And then he comes, you know, he's the master of all. And then he comes into the SEC, and clearly he was told what to do by the big banks, right? JP Morgan's, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, Elizabeth Warren's, right? E-Lizard, Meth Warren. And, yeah, like it's so blatantly obvious. Like they were planted, right? They sold their soul, right? That should be the biggest clue ever to go ham on for Jam to go ham on XRP. You got an MIT professor talking about it. How, oh, if the big banks want to participate, maybe, you know, the monopolists, the central monopolists, he said, you know, if you want to create this new system, well, maybe you have to give away some of your token, right? The central monopolists won't be too happy with that, he says. Why do you think we have all these, you know, NDAs and pre-allocated contracts with XRP that no one knows anything about? It's because it was all planned decades in advance. Just saw you were live, so I joined. Drop a like. Need to go to bed now. It's late in the UK, or at least for me. Good luck. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining, Vaz. And I'm not sure if that's Vaz from Martin Lucas. Not 100% sure, but if it is, top of the morning, evening, whenever you're viewing this. Hello, Vaz. Hey, Vaz. Good night, mate. Yeah, must be the same Vaz then. Savage Faith in the house. XRP, XLM, H-bar. Yeah, those are the way to go. CBW. So Oxley, XRP and Oxley. Yes, sir. I saw some headline that 3 billion Satoshi era. Did I already read that? Oh, yeah, I did, because you just became a member. That's why. Okay. Yeah, I skipped ahead for the members. All right, we'll go through this a little quicker here. I don't own BTC, yeah. Hi, friends, just saying hello. I'm going on my Going to own this chat room because I respect Pal Preacher. It's a good day. Thank you for joining, Rage Gun, another VIP or another core member. Glad I was able to catch the live. Smash the like button for Rod. Appreciate it. I'm off to bed. Good night. Amazing day. Absolutely. Have a wonderful evening, Sensei. Got Stacy as well, which I believe is Savage Faith. You're definitely a tech nerd. Yeah. Yeah. I remember my first computer when I was like, I think I was like 9. So that would have been like 1999. He is a smart tech nerd, and we love it so much, don't we? Autocorrect got me too. Shh, Rod, don't tell the Ponzi secrets. You'll get censored. Yeah, it's a real thing. There's some good BSers out there. I'm sitting with my husband. Can you explain taking profits as fat as XRP is as far as XRP is concerned? Because he doesn't understand why you would do that and not just hold for forever. I mean, I'm going to be taking profits. But again, I have a plan for $100 XRP. I got a video for that. So just go to POW Group and just watch this XRP exit. And I even give you an example. If this was the amount that you invested, like a sample amount, and then this is how much you would have at the end. So if you invested original investment, your initial investment, $4,200, based on my sell exit strategy, you'd have $321,000 at the end. And then keep in mind, I'm holding 100 XRP for forever. But again, I could own more or less than this. I don't tell anybody how much I hold. So, but what if you had 8,000? What if you had 20,000? What if you had 40,000? You'd easily be into the multi-millions of dollars at that point, right? What if you have 100,000 initial investment, right? So those numbers can get skewed very quickly, and they can grow exponentially very quickly as well. So yeah, I had a plan for $1,000 XRP. I have a plan for $100 XRP. I have a plan for forever holding XRP, but it's only going to be like 1% of my holdings. And keep in mind that, you know, if we go to, and I even said in this, waiting for an ETF. Now I bought the ETF in my TFSA. Guess what? I'm never going to sell that one. I'm never going to sell my TFSA until like at least 3 digits, because that's a tax-free savings account. That just launched in Canada, which I just interviewed the CEO. Just type in POW Group 3IQ. This is that video I was talking about, an ETF being released in Canada. It just happened this year. Why was I talking about an ETF coming in Canada? Because I knew it was coming, right? Why wouldn't it? It was a matter of when, not if, right? And then sure enough, here we are. I'm interviewing the CEO of the first Canadian ETF. So check out those videos. Profit's not a secret. Sounds more like research, informed opinion, facts, maybe. Yeah. No, it's I mean, it's obvious, right? So obvious. Fucking the word. Does XRP have a limited supply? Yes, XRP has a limited supply, and in fact, it has a lowering supply. So every transaction burns a small amount of XRP. Not even Bitcoin has that. So every time, if you go to CoinMarketCap and look at the max supply versus total supply, you will see that it's decreasing. So XRP's circulating supply right now is 59 billion. The max supply is 100 billion, but the total supply is now 99.98. Why? Because it burns a small amount of XRP with every transaction. Even their stablecoin issued on the XRP ledger is burning XRP. The native asset on the XRP ledger wouldn't function without it. So it's deflationary. The supply is going down over time, and that's why there's 100 billion of them. And you need to have like a higher supply and a higher price for these, for like the full intended use case, right? Are the Flare airdrops significant? I'm not getting them. Yeah, you have to be on like a supported exchange or have your self-custody wallet connected through the Flare portal. They're pretty significant. Like if you held like 100,000 Flare, you'd probably be getting like a few thousand Flare every month. And if it goes to $1, that's like a few $1,000s US every single month. If it goes to $2, that's like 6,000. Like you're into 5 figures almost, right? So yeah, definitely worth it. I've been like us in POW Group, we've been doing that for like the last year, I think year now, at least. And there's still 7 months to go. Like, explain take profits. When do you think buy back, and when do you think take profits? No worries losing this quantity of coins and raising his average cost. Yeah, it's such a difficult question though, right, Stacy? Because I don't know how much you're holding. I don't know what your base case, like your base cost basis is. I don't know what your average is. Is it 20 cents? Is it $2? Right? That would change everything. That would skew everything. So that's why, that's why you're not supposed to give financial advice, because everybody, like, you could be looking to retire in 5 years and somebody could be 20 years old and not retiring. So like, there's so many variables. Yeah, you'd have to like sit down and really go through it, right? Like, everybody's situation is going to be a million times different. But just watch those videos, and I think you'll get a lot of value at it. Can't wait for 93 cents on XLM. Yeah, that's the daily bull flag on XLM, and XRP just did it. So why can't XLM do it? And in fact, it's very close to confirming it now. And yeah, 93 cents is the target. You just take your measure move there from the low to the high, move it out to 0.3 fib. But yeah, I gotta get going soon here. This is already getting pretty long, and gotta go get dinner with the family. Brian, haven't left yet. Sleep less than don't ever buy at market price. Use stops and limit always. Yeah, unless you're like me. I bought XRP the other day when it confirmed the daily bull flag on an exchange I'm testing, and I bought it here when we broke 303, which is the daily bull flag confirming, and it was up shortly after 16%. So, but yeah, I mean, someone the other day asked me when, I can't remember who it is now. You know who you are if you're listening. They asked me, should I buy XLM now at 46 cents or put in a buy order for 44 cents? I'm like, just buy it. It's 46 and 44 cents. Who cares? It's 2 cents. It's going to like $4 or $5. Are you going to worry about 2 cents when it goes to $4 or $5? Come on. Hey, Rod, thanks for the videos. If you're doing tickers, did May finally say Tesla? Did May? Not sure who May is. Tesla's been weak, actually. I think it was a bear flag. But we're negating it now. Whoops. Yeah, I want to see us get a daily close over 325, or else this could be a big bull trap. And target's 259. Again, right? Tesla just, once everything becomes obvious, it's gonna be a lot of pain, right? And it's gonna be slow and annoying. Like, I was telling people to buy Tesla in 2018, right? 2019. And now everybody and their dog loves Tesla, and this is what happened, right? In 2018, 2019, I got ridiculed. Oh, it's down 50%. It makes less cars in a year than Toyota makes in a month, and then it's up 30x. So, again, when an asset goes up 30x, there's just going to be a lot of other opportunities out there. Unless you bought this thing when it was at, 2018 prices, I just don't see the point now. Like, who cares if you buy it now and it goes all-time high? That's 50% gain. Like, XRP's up like that much in like a couple days. Just not worth it. It's opportunity cost as well. XLM to all familiar names in POW. Absolutely. Thanks, Zach. Generational Wealth. Zach. Hello, Zach. Go Space. Yeah, we had a POW algo alert go off on Space today as well. SBCE, Virgin Galactic. Plan decades in advance. Wah. Oh, yeah. You have a lot to learn, young Skywalker, if you don't think this magic internet money was created decades in advance. I would say since they took us off the gold standard, it's been planned. Go SPCE, yes. Yeah, I don't think it's just like MJ. I made a video about cannabis stocks, probably not going to be doing anything. Everybody was like, oh, yeah, the big, beautiful bills are done. It's MJ's turn. I'm like, no. It's crypto week. You think, like, electric vehicles and space rockets and cannabis are going to explode? No. Crypto. Blockchain, crypto. It's crypto week. What's exploding and during crypto week? Oh, no way. What are the odds that crypto exploded during crypto week? XCN, I've never heard of that, so I have zero thoughts on that one, Health Savage, but hope you do well with it. Wait, I didn't know that, bro. I thought Stellar Lumens at 19 cents hold 2600. Yeah, Stellar's awesome. Keep holding it. Happy times. Base was up today. Yeah, we had the POW algo buy alert go off on it right before the big move. Brothers, it's a party. Got Brian saying it's a Thursday. There's a good things to do on a Thursday. Party on Rod's channel is a good thing to do on a Thursday. Yeah, I just finished a PEI beer. I'm from Prince Edward Island. I found a PEI beer at the beer store today, and I was pretty stoked. I'm having a energy drink here now. Moment when you haven't checked Coinbase for a fat bit. Well, I got it right on the screen here, so I wouldn't say we haven't checked it. Let's see what we got on the shorter level time frames. You got ourselves a bull flag on these shorter level time frames? No, but we have ourselves an ascending triangle, just as good. We'll take that, won't we? Take a bit ascending triangles all day long. Here we go. Yeah, I like it better on the... That's probably better on the 5 minute, yeah. So, just go from there. I like to use the real candle bodies as much as possible, and I think this one would make more sense. Yes, there you go. You got 3 touches perfectly, and it's the real candle bodies. This one I'm going to use the wicks because that's the most touches. Nah, probably there. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that one's probably good. Then you just take your measured move there from the high to the low. Move it out to your resistance line as your support, and it's saying 364. So we're close to breaking out. We could tighten up for a little bit longer and then break out, or we could completely negate it and come back down here to around 334, which would be next support. But I would say it's probably heading to 364 based on the daily bull flag, 2-hour bull flag, and what was the other one? 4-hour bull flag. And now ascending triangle, right? It's called Confluence. Multiple pattern signals, indicators all saying the same thing. Oh, and the golden cross due to occur anytime. We're at 234 on the 50 and 240 on the 200. So once the 50 gets above the 200, we're 6 pennies away. And then it's big moonshot after that again. Moment when you haven't checked. Yeah, I'll check these out. Thanks, my friend. You bet. My pleasure. I hear a baby. Go take care of that baby. Yeah, my mic's pretty strong, so we're like completely apart in like 2 separate parts of the house, but this friggin' mic is crazy strong. Sometimes just buy. What are your thoughts on Tilray? Do you think we'll finally break 70 cents? Yeah, again, it's crypto week, so crypto's going to be in the focus. And yeah, again, cannabis is usually boring in the summer, and then into this fall, it's usually great. What's happening now? Crypto legislation. Crypto's usually bullish in the summer, so we'll get that out of the way, and then guess what will be left? Cannabis. And then they're going to create cannabis policy. So, like I've been saying for many years on this channel, I own way more crypto than I do cannabis. And I'm going to look to rotate. I'm going to sell about 80 to 90% of my crypto here in the next couple months. I'll be fully out. I'll hold 10, 20% forever. Well, not forever, but long term. Some for forever, maybe 1 or 2% forever. And, you know, I have my higher take profit levels. But of that 80 to 90% that I take profit on, 10 to 20% of those profits, so 10 to 20% of those 80 to 90% profits, I'm going to rotate into cannabis stocks, more beaten down cannabis stocks. And then watch reform and policy making come in for cannabis here in the next 6 to 12 months. That'll be the time to buy, in my opinion. But like, you can't go wrong here now, right? You want to be buying near the lows, right? Like I bought XRP at 20 cents. For every 20 cents, right, that XRP goes up, that's 100% gain on those buys at 20 cents. My average is 40 cents. So for every 40 cent gain on XRP, my entire XRP bag goes up 100%. Right? We just went up 40 cents since, where are we at? In a day. We're up 40 cents in a day. So my XRP bag is up over 100% in one day. So imagine if you got XRP at 5 cents, 10 cents, right? That's the multiplier effect that we're after. And you want to be buying it at the lows. That's when you want to be doing your due diligence and your research, not when the price is breaking out to all-time highs. Smash the like. Thank you. Thanks, Rod, for the quick Tesla look. Appreciate it. Have a great night, man. Enjoy the dinner with the family. Thank you very much. PEI is a beautiful place. Piece of land. Sorry. Yeah, I grew up there. I lived there for 30 years, but yeah, I got to branch out. I love Edmonton, though. Alberta's awesome. Alberta. Happy Crypto Week. Looking forward to Jazz Cabbage Week. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Well, happy Crypto Week to you, and best best cabbage week ahead. Amazing content. Thank you, Rod. Great. Well, I appreciate it. You know, I know it's not as flashy. I don't come on here and do the $1,000 tomorrow, next week, this year clickbait. There's enough people doing that already. I come on here with substance, value, and logic and truth. So, yeah, I said it many times. My channel will grow as fast as it will based on me telling the truth and, you know, not coming on here and being a complete sellout. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with POW Group. And, yeah, I'm sure we'll see you again in the next day or two as we continue this face-melting rally. All right. Love each and every one of you. Really appreciate all the support. And to all the members that joined during the live stream and the POW Group private community,